I just got here and it's time to talk about Dandadan. And honestly, I didn't expect this episode to hit this hard. Like, so far, this series has been pretty much every episode. What the fuck is happening here? Fun shenanigans, amazing animation, goofy jokes, chasing after magical balls and so on, exaggerated characters, insanity basically happening on screen here. But after the episode I had yesterday with ReZero that hit like an emotional truck, I didn't expect it to happen again, in this case with Dandadan. Things like this are actually a weakness of mine, like they hit me quite hard when innocent people, characters have tragic things happening to them. And I was going into this episode, I was like, okay, so they're gonna fight the acrobatic Silky, it's gonna get revealed there's gonna be a tragedy in her past by how she got attached to Ira. But then the flashbacks, the moments, the cinematography, everything there, the music, the characters just hit more and more. And yeah, actually brought me to tears again, same as the ReZero episode. So let's get into this one and talk about it. Now, the way they show that scene at the start, that first person POV, running there, horror, scared, panic. I think they rendered that entire thing, looked so good here. Now, is that acrobatic Silky? And yeah, later on we get the full context of that scene here, but still back in the present, the Silky was very angry about losing Ira and starts chasing them, going after them. Even Ocaron had difficulty running with that terrain here. The advantage was for her, and I'm expecting how are they gonna combat this? Like, is Ocaron just gonna speed through things? Is Momo finally gonna get free because she was still having her hands tied behind her back? Somehow the entire episode here she was still tied there. But saying the Silky saying she wants to devour Ira. But before she could do that, she ensnared herself with her own hair, chasing after them here, and after that she tries to force herself free. I speedrun a bit through this because while the fight wasn't the focus of this episode, honestly this is my favorite episode of Dandadan. Like, the others are really fun, comedic, action, great animation, but things like this that hit you in the emotion stick a lot more with me, at least here. Them getting ready to go after Silky, even Momo telling Ocaron, hey, go full throttle and blow her away. The banter, the bickering between them, because how he still doesn't have control over Turbo Granny's power here. But I liked when push came to shove, even though he didn't know how to do it, what to do, he stepped in front of Momo to protect her and does that. He kind of launches himself as a rocket straight into Silky, blowing her through a wall. And like, okay, so they won after this, right? And Turbo Granny being very, very smug, kind of sitting on Ocaron like a throne, kind of chastising a bit Silky and him for not using her power properly there. I really like the snarky comments from Turbo Granny. But she also said something that I wanted to give her a slap towards the end of the episode here. Them finally getting Ocaron's ball back. But here I didn't expect this to happen. Like, after this one, the episode felt pretty normal to Dandadan, so to say. Then the reveal. Ira died. I didn't expect her to be dead. I'm like, okay, they're gonna bring her back, something is gonna happen. I'm like, is Silky gonna sacrifice herself? I was kind of going along with those lines here, and then it's revealed that Ira died when she was eaten by Silky here. Momo trying to massage her heart with her powers, Ocaron doing CPR and telling Turbo Granny to call an ambulance, even though she was being very, very snarky about it here. But from this moment on, the episode just emotional truck. Silky comes back and saying she wants to give her aura to Ira, and by Turbo Granny's explanation, everything has an aura. It's kind of like a battery, so without one you're dead, and Ira's aura was going away, and Silky was willing to sacrifice herself to do this, and even tears open her mouth to prove she's serious, to prove that to Momo. He was saying, if you don't believe me, crack my skull open with a beam there. And Turbo Granny said yes, she's finally series. And the moment Momo starts connecting their auras here, this is probably the best that Dandadan has been for me, at least. So far, the flashback of Silky's life before she became this ghost, yokai, monster, paranormal thing, whatever you want to call it. We see how hard she worked. She did everything, even selling her body, prostitution for her daughter, working multiple jobs, the love of her mother, and willing to do anything and everything to give all she had for her daughter there, spending time with her, playing with her. And I hate it when characters meet tragic and like this. It hurts me so much for innocent characters, and reminds me a bit of ID, the series with the detective, what it's called, ID Invaded, or the name was escaping me for a bit. There's an episode there that made me cry my eyes out. It hit so hard, and this one was getting there so much, seeing how much Silky loved her daughter there, everything she did for her, how much she cared for her, and just puts a bit of things into perspective. So make sure you tell your mother you love her, you care for her, and remember what your parents sacrificed for you. But then this is where I'm like, when is it gonna happen? When is the other shoe gonna drop? And it looked amazing, the scenes, the back and forth, the happiness you were seeing on screen. I like in the back of my mind, okay, this one is gonna hurt. But then it happens. Some motherfuckers, pieces of shit, break in, beating Silky, the mother, down, and kidnapping the daughter, taking her away and leaving her to die, cutting glass and everything. And she actually ran after them and dies in the rain. It kind of has a final moment of dancing under the starlight in the rain. And I think she jumped off of something or gets hit by a car, or I don't know, there's a splat sound and she dies. Like, damn. Just that happy family, just the single mother doing everything she can for her daughter, and to meet this tragic end. So I don't know who those fuckers were, but I hope they burn in hell. And I don't think we're gonna get to find out what happened to the daughter, but showing Silky's point of view just breaks your heart, to say the least here. And she, even wounded, she tried to run after her daughter there, but after this kind of loses her memories. When she got transformed there, she says, I'm missing something, what did I lost? And that's when Ira sees her and says, Mommy, mistakes her for her own mother, and then makes it even worse painfully, because the reveal that Ira's mother also died, and she didn't understand that concept. Like, her father was just telling her, your mother left somewhere far away, you're gonna have to be good for when she comes back here. And how do you explain death to a kid? Kind of like that. It's very hard to explain that concept to somebody so young, and especially when it's their mother. And kind of having these two characters connected, Silky losing her daughter, Ira losing her mother, very, very poetic there between them. And that's why Silky imprinted sort of Ira, taken her as her own daughter. She reminded herself of the mother instinct, and that she had a daughter, and she saw that in Ira here, and wanted to do again anything and everything to protect her. But when you're a monster also, you kind of go overboard with those things, especially when you're not in control of yourself. And this is when we get back to the present, Ira coming back to life. And I loved when Okarun was getting ready to fight, to go full throttle again. Mom was like, stop, because she saw everything. You see the tears in her eyes. She saw all of that flashback. She basically saw her life, Silky's life, and Silky apologizing, saying she took it too far, she wanted to protect her, but ended up wounding her. And Turbo Granny, this is where I kind of wanted to slap her a bit. She was very honest, like, yes, Silky's gonna die with regrets, nobody's gonna remember her, but that was a bit too cold. Even though it fits with Turbo Granny, I was still in that emotional state there, thinking of those. And Ira does what I felt I wanted to do also, just going in and rushes Silky, hugs her, and tells her, Mommy, I love you, and kind of makes a wish to the universe in a way, take them to a more fortunate and kinder world, both Silky and her own daughter, which don't think we're ever gonna find out what happened to her. But yeah, awesome, very sad and tragic episode, and this is my favorite episode from Dandadan. I wasn't ready for an episode to hit this hard. So far, the series, like I said at the start, has been very focused on the comedic side a bit, with very more serious undertones, like we had with Turbo Granny, why she was there in the tunnel, why she's actually stealing winners, the spirit that was there with the girls. But here, when you actually see what happens and it gives you all of the context and kind of more in your face, it hits you quite hard. At least for me, this is my weakness in all series and anime and so on. When you have innocent characters having bad things done to them, it hurts so much. But yeah, really great episode here. I'm really curious what you guys thought about it. Make sure you tell your mother you love her, and let me know in the comments below how was this episode for you. And as always, thank you very much for watching. Remember to like and subscribe, helps me quite a lot, and you guys get the latest videos on the series that I follow. So keep enjoying Dandadan. I'm gonna see you again on the next one. Bye bye.